The woman's corpse had all her joints broken and her tongue cut out, yet there were no visible wounds on her body. But when James began the autopsy, fresh blood started pouring out of the body. At that moment, a strange song began playing on the radio. James didn't think much of it and continued cutting into her lungs, only to find that her internal organs looked like they'd been slashed with a knife. Suddenly, they heard a noise from outside and the lights started flickering. His son, John, rushed out to check but found nothing unusual. When he returned to the morgue, he saw that the freezer drawer had mysteriously opened by itself. After shutting it, he told James about the strange occurrences, but James insisted they'd get to the bottom of it. As the autopsy continued, they discovered a flower in the corpse's stomach, one known for its paralyzing effects. They also found a piece of cloth wrapped around a tooth, bearing what looked like religious symbols. Then,
one thing's for sure, you're not going anywhere.
James noticed that the inside of the woman's skin was covered in the same symbols. Just then, the eerie song played on the recorder again. Suddenly, John realized that all the freezer doors had flung open and all the bodies inside were gone. They rushed to the emergency exit, only to find a large tree knocked down by lightning, blocking their way. Their phones had no signal. Then, they heard the faint ringing of a bell outside the door. Peeking through the crack, John saw a pair of black feet. Whatever was outside suddenly began slamming violently on the door. The father and son scrambled to block it with a cabinet. As they pushed the cabinet in place, James accidentally cut his hand. He went to the bathroom to clean the wound. John heard the commotion and rushed in, only to find his father lying on the floor. James said something in the dark had attacked him. Terrified, the two ran back to the autopsy room. John grabbed an axe and they ran toward the elevator, with the unseen presence closing in on them. Once inside, they realized the elevator door wouldn't close. James took the axe and stood guard. When something approached, he swung it hard, only to realize he'd accidentally struck John's girlfriend. Overwhelmed with grief, but with no time to mourn, they ran back to the autopsy room to find answers. Upon further examination, they realized the cells in the corpse were still alive. John folded the piece of cloth and saw it form the word Bible. James quickly flipped through a Bible and confirmed it that the woman was a witch, sacrificed in a ritual centuries ago. Her spirit was so full of rage that her body never decayed. James knelt over her, begging her to spare his son. Her pupils slowly returned to normal while James's eyes turned pale white. Just then, the lights in the room flickered back on, and they heard police calling from outside. John ran to the door, but the voices transformed back into that haunting song. He turned around, only to find his father's eyes glowing white. Backing away in fear, John stumbled and fell from the upper floor.